Hello everyone, Denise here. Today I'm going to show you how to make buttons that match your garment or purse or whatever you're making that you're adding a button to. This is an easy way to where you don't have to go out and spend money on buttons or try to find some that match what you're doing. These rings come in many different sizes. Some packs have assorted sizes. They're called Gabon rings, they're called cafe curtain rings, they're called plastic rings, they're called crafting rings. You can purchase them pretty much anywhere. Quick Google search will give you Hobby Lobby, Joann, Temu, Michaels. Hobby Lobby is where I purchased these. They were on clearance, but I think it's because they switched over to their own brand, Zoology. You get 20 rings for $1.49, and that's when they're not on sale. These were Hobby Lobby, and there's 30 in here. It was $2.99, but I got it for 74 cents. This is the size that I like for buttons. I do have tiny ones. I have a whole bag of them because what I used to do was just buy the assorted ones and then only use this size. Michaels sells the assorted size. I do believe Susan Bates sells the assorted size. I know Walmart sells these because I'm positive I have bought them there in the assorted packages as well. Very simple. In my other video where I talked about the sweater and this yarn, I don't remember where I learned how to do this button thing, but whoever it is, thank you for spreading that knowledge. So I'm going to spread it on to you, at least how I do it anyway. So however many of these you need, this is how you will make each and every button as you go. They're just plastic rings. There's no split in them, so you don't have to worry about that. It's not very large. I think these are 1 inch. No, these are 0.75. So these are 3/4 of an inch. They do come in different sizes. The back of these say for cafe curtains and tie backs. That's how I used to search for them back in the day. Like 2009, 2010, when I was making a lot of baby stuff, I made buttons this way. So you just need some yarn, and it's not a lot of yarn. You can use any yarn that you want. It just takes a little longer if you are using like sock weight, because it takes more time to wrap it up. I usually pull some off. I have never gauged on what that amount is. I just pull some off. If you are short on yarn, pay attention, and then you can make use of your yarn in a better way. Take your ring, take your yarn, put your yarn through your ring, and I do about, I don't know, 4 inches on a tail. That is to help you sew in on your garment. Then go down to your other end. Looks like I have about maybe, I probably have a yard of yarn here, even though I don't need that much. I guess at the end I will gauge and tell you how much I have left, and then you'll know how much you need. Okay, so I start like this. I hold the ring. I hold the yarn like this with my middle finger here. I go into the ring and I pull through a lot until it's around my finger like this. And then I scoop through that. Essentially, you're making a knot and you're knotting it around the ring. You could do this with a crochet hook if you want. I find it to be a little messy, so I don't do it. The yarn tends to get pretty loose, and I like it to be taut for a button. So doing this over and over and over until the entire circumference of your ring is filled with this yarn like this. Just like that. Just going to do that over and over and over. Okay, I'll be back to you in just a moment when I get my ring filled all the way around. Okay, so we made it all the way around. We have this cute little circle covered in yarn. It's adorable. You can make a bracelet out of this. You could do several of these, chain them together. Boop. Cute. We're not doing that, but that's a thought. So once you get all of your yarn all the way around, we're going to take our beginning end and we're going to tie it to our yarn that we've been working with. Okay, now we're going to take all this bump that's all on the outside and we're going to turn it inside the ring. Just like that. Now what I like to do is, see how my working yarn is through now? I like to bring it up top so that the yarn is up here like this. My tail is down here, just like that. Now we're gonna wrap the ring around and around. It's your choice how many times you want to wrap it. With the worsted weight yarn, I do 4. You can do as many as you want. Essentially, it's like wrapping a ball of yarn, except we're just wrapping a ring. So I do 1, and I do this fairly tight so it doesn't go anywhere. Like I'm making sure it's taut. I wrap and then go 2, turn, wrap, go 3, turn, wrap, go 4. Oops, it came off. And then I hold that. I grab my needle and I take it and I poke up through a couple of those wraps, making sure it doesn't come loose. Okay, still holding on to that. I'm going to go on the other side of this wrap and go down to keep it in place. You want to go on each side of those wraps. Like you're sewing it into place. Go up on one side, down on the other. And you can do this as many times as you want. You just want to make sure that all of your wraps you go in between so that they stay there and they're like locked into position and they don't move. I believe I have been around all the way once. So then at that point, I usually will go up into one of the next ones and then go back down. And then I'll take a look at the back of my button. I like these two to be a little further away. So I am going to take my yarn. I'm going to poke up maybe over here. I'm going to go into the one next to it and then down so that I am sort of across from my original tail there. And the reason for that is I like to turn it over and then tie these to sort of secure them before you attach them to a garment. Also, when I am attaching them to the garment, since I'm using the tail and the yarn is matching what I am attaching to, like on my sweater, I will sometimes, if the button doesn't feel stable enough, I will, as I am sewing it on, go through one of those wraps and go around it one more time just to keep the button secure on there so it's not really wobbly. And that is how you make a button. So let's see how much yarn I have left, because I know I didn't need that much. I have probably over a foot. So if you want to take about 2 foot of yarn for each time that you make a button, it seems like that would be good. That's what I have left. Maybe I'd get a button out of this. I don't think so though. But that's how you make a button, and then you can match whatever garment that you are making, or head, or whatever you're making and you want a button to match. There you go. I think what I'll do is I'll put this in a plastic bag and I'll attach it to the sweater so that if our granddaughter somehow gets one of her buttons off, her mom has an extra one. How you attach it to your sweater is just like weaving in ends. You go through, make sure you're catching, like you would go through a stitch on either side to make sure that you're going to catch it for stability, and then tie it really tight. And like I said, maybe go up through one of those spokes on either side to keep it, more stable, and then weave in your ends just like you normally would. And then you have a whole bunch of beautiful buttons that match your sweater. I love this idea. Like I said, I've been using it for 15 plus years. One of the things that I like to do, the other day, I knew I was going to make buttons, so I took these as a to-go project and made several while waiting in the car. You can also take these as a to-go project and like take white or black or whatever color you know that you may need in the future and just make them. Instead of pulling out a huge project or a project in general, sometimes I just like something small like this to do. Keep my hands busy while I'm waiting, doctor's appointments, whatever you're waiting for, your kids at school, in the car, whatever. Take this along, and then all you have to do is take a ball of yarn, a needle, and your rings, and then you have a perfect to-go project. I took mine in my little pouch that I got from Hobby Lobby, little zippered pouch, and then you don't have to even have a project bag with you. You can toss that into whatever bag that you're taking with you. Just an option for a to-go project. If you know you will need buttons, or if you know you're going to need them in the future, just make neutral ones. So I thought I'd share it with you guys. I know a lot of you make garments and whatnot, so this could be useful to you. So take care, guys. I appreciate you. Until next time, bye.